And we are back. We've got pretty much all the buildings done, don't we? Let's get to work on this one. The general store, I believe. Start by selecting this top bit of the roof. That way we can separate it out later. Now go on to the chimney, get it marked as a seam as well. There we go, and now get the bottom of the roof, the underside. And the top of the building. Get those marked. And we're on to the windows. And these things. And the next window. And the doorway. Next window. Other one of these things. Alright, one more window to go. And I think that's going to do it. I should probably mark one of these like so. Alright, I think we are ready to go. Unwrap it and move it off to the top. Now to start laying out the UV texture map space. Get everything selected and moved around. And let's try to rotate this properly. Get everything moved around. Into position. These are next. Just get those lined up together. Grab these as well here. I have to figure out how I want things laid out, but it doesn't take too long. Alright, now to get the windows all selected and lined up on top of each other. I'm doing two separate ones. Don't know how I want things to line up yet, or to texture yet, so we're going to leave things open to do differently if I feel I need to. On to the final parts of the chimney. These can move down here. That can go there. And now for these. Get these window frame sections moved around. Last window. And the doorway. Door frame. Alright, so that's that. Go ahead and get the file exported. And then we will move into Inkscape momentarily. Now that we have Inkscape opened up, we need to open up the file. File is now open. Let's begin. Color coding everything. Starting with the roof. That'll be the first one. And here we go on the top section. The very top section, that is. And we just continue this process for the remaining areas, giving each their own color. Not hard at all. Alright, I think this makes up half of the color coding. We are doing well. Four left. Did I say 4? I meant 3. One to go after this one. And this job is done. Now, get it saved and then open up the file in the GIMP. That will be momentarily. But what am I thinking? First we need to load it into Blender. That way we can see in 3D what we're working on. Now we're ready for Blender. And in Blender and in the GIMP, we are ready to go. Let's start by making that roof more of a thatch, like every other roof in the town. Just try to get that center in the right spot. That should be okay. Turn the opacity down. And let's reload. That looks alright to me. Next area. Just gonna do the same thing we did before. Real quick here. Add some noise and a blur. This one we do need to adjust the center of by quite a bit. I think that's okay. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, let's go ahead and merge those two visible layers into one and get working on the next bit. Going to be the window frame. Give it a wood-like texture using noise and blur. Load it in. And it's looking nice. We'll now keep doing this for the remainder. Of the window frames. Load it in again. There we go. Everything's looking nice. Now for the... we'll leave the door for later. Let's do this wall. I have an idea of a different look that I want to try. So we'll start with the blue, and then we'll come in with the eraser, add something of a little pattern to it, tone that down. Now a noise and blur layer. think I like radial. Yeah, that should work. I think that's a nice looking effect. But let's see. Let's use a different background color there. So yeah, I think that'll look good. Let's bring it in. Yeah, that's nice. Now for the other wall, we'll do the same thing. We'll just copy this part over. Go ahead and merge visible. Make a noise layer and add another blur. Let's bring it into Blender. Yeah, that looks good. With most of my things, I go for subtlety when it comes to the colors. I think if you've stuck around this long, you know that by now, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Do the door frame now. Get the angle adjusted properly. There we go. I think that'll do it. Next up is the windows. And we're going to go with a darker blue, some noise, and a motion blur. There we go. Now for the other window, do the same thing. There we go. Let's bring it into Blender. Yeah, that looks nice. Just a few more areas to work with. And then this particular building is complete. Let's go for the chimney. I'm going to go with a similar effect that I did for the main building, for the town hall building. So here we go. Now for the under roof, just a solid brown. See how it looks with smooth shading? Looks okay. Back into it. Let's get the doorway and everything that goes on the underside gets black. There we go, load it back in. Looking nice. Now for these. Or do I want to do the roof? Let's do the roof. Not the roof, I mean the inner part of the chimney. Don't know why I said roof, but I did, didn't I? That was silly of me. Just a little bit more to go. All right. I think we've just about got it. Okay. Let's bring it in. And there we go. That looks nice. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And comparing it with all the other buildings and playing around with the light source shows that it fits in nicely. Alright, next thing I want to do is to work on the bulletin board map thing right here. So we need to get everything unwrapped, and that means getting the faces selected. So let's get started with how small it is and how it is positioned. I really have to work at getting a good angle. But we now have the angle we need, more or less. So we will start selecting and marking as seams. Getting everything selected here is more of a fight than you would believe. It just takes time and a fair amount of patience to get everything selected that needs to be selected. Thankfully, it gets done. Just a little bit more to go, I believe. And then we will probably call it quits for this time. But I want to at least get everything marked and maybe laid out in a UV image. We will see, won't we? We will see. And if you're thinking, why didn't I do this beforehand for this particular one? When I was doing this, I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't know why I made it this hard on myself. However, there's no going back now. Alright, so that takes care of unwrapping everything. Now, looks like I need to fix something. That's better. Alright, let's start getting everything selected and moving it around for the UV layout. There's the center of the board. This is the roof. Now for the outside of the board, one of the interior sides, the other interior side, the back, the little gap in between the outside and inside of the board. Now, how did I mess this up? Oh. Well, that's something. That's better. Get these laid on top of each other. Forgetting to grab some, aren't I? Let's move these out of the way right quick. Now I see what I need to be working on. Just about got it. Last one in position. There we go. Now for the outer little side of that thing. Just one more piece to move in. Alright, we are done. Hey there everyone, just wanted to say thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you did enjoy the video, how about giving it a thumbs up? Alright, I will see you all next time.